Hello everyone, Clayton here. Standing in one of our trials here at Central Illinois PFR. This happens to be the frost trial. This trial was performed at 3 locations: here, Central Illinois PFR, Iowa PFR, and Minnesota PFR. What we're trying to do in this frost study is have 2 applications of a frost event and then have some replant scenarios to see if we should have replanted or if we should have left that original stand of corn and continued on with it. So my first treatment here is no frost. This is the original planting that was planted on April 21st. My second treatment here, these 3 rows, is a frost application at V2 growth stage. So you may be asking yourself, how do you actually apply a frost? We have 500,000 BTU propane burners that we position on top of the row and we burn that plant. In that case here at Central Illinois PFR, we made 3 passes on top of these corn plants to help simulate a frost event. Now, a frost event might hang around a little bit longer and may be more severe, but we're trying to get as close as we possibly can to replicating a frost event. So this is the V2 frost in front of me. Next up is the replanting of that V2 frost. So we waited 7 to 10 days after that frost application and we replanted. In this case, the replanting was on June 3rd. This corn is much taller than the April 21st corn because of early or late season GDU accumulation. Since we planted it in June and accumulated those days, is growing degree units so much faster. My fourth treatment, is frost at V4. So we waited a little bit longer into the growing season and then we applied that frost. This is a critical time frame to hope we never get a frost at V4 to V5 growth stage, as the growing point is either approaching, emerging out of the ground, or is already out of the ground and on top of the surface. We want to keep that growing point safe. So impacting at the V4 growth stage we think will be much higher than at the V2. So this is frost at V4. And then we have a frost at V4 followed by mowing that plant off a day or 2 after that frost application. We do that to try to get rid of that necrotic material so that plant can recover faster. Our last treatment here is that frost at V4 followed by the replant. This happens to be June 11th. So 7 to 10 days after that initial frost application at the V4 growth stage. Now let's jump in here and take a look at the ears from these individual plants. So no frost here, planted April 21st. Frost at V2. Replant V2 following that frost. So June 3rd, replanted corn. Frost at V4. Frost at V4 followed by the mowing. I do think the mowing actually hurt that. And then frost at V4, replanted on June 11th. It looks to me like the replant dates here might be the winners in this study at this location. I think it's probably purely because of planting date from this season. Early season we had some tough conditions that we actually had to run into some actual replant scenarios. So I do think those replants might be the winners in this plot. But, however, if we do have to replant a frost situation, we got to remember that our corn is going to be later on to the season before we can harvest it because of the time it takes to make the decision and actually get the replanting done. So there's a little bit of cost there when it comes to your plant drying down later on in the season. This was replicated 3 times here at all of our locations. I'm extremely excited about this data set because this is potentially something that can help you mid-season to make an emotional decision a little bit easier. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for tuning in.